Well, here's a story that has all of us saying, are you serious? And this is going to apply to you because, listen, an Uber and Lyft driver in Missouri has been suspended after a report came out that he was live streaming his passengers without their express consent. We're talking about full names, addresses, private conversations up online for everyone to see and comment on. And if you think the driver who's been identified as 32-year-old Jason Gargak is going to jail, wrong. Here's the thing. It's because even though what the driver allegedly did made us feel really icky, it's not illegal in the state of Missouri. So we reached out to the driver. We've not heard back. But let's talk about this with criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi. Bob, thanks for being with me. You know, we can talk all about states and laws and how there's consent for being recorded. But here's what I thought made it different. He wasn't just recording them. He was live streaming it on the internet. We're talking adults and children. How is that legal?
Well, here's the thing. You have to make a distinction between criminal law. It's a one-party consent state. What that is fancy terminology to say if one party consents to the interception of conversations and they're present for them, it's not a violation of the criminal statutes, Lynn, but it very well could be a violation of the civil law if a jury were to believe there was a reasonable expectation of privacy that these people did not consent to their private information being live streamed. I think they're going to take Mr. Gargak for a ride here because to me it's a clear civil privacy violation.
And it goes to intent, right? Initially, and he kind of contradicts himself here. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch points out that initially he said this was for security purposes, but then he goes on to say, quote, I try to capture the natural interactions between myself and the passengers here. So he's admitting, listen, I was digging a little bit. I was trying to get something that I could put on the internet. Is that going to implicate him?
Yeah, absolutely. Even before he made that damning statement, he was in trouble. But, you know, people can't help but open their mouths, Lynn. What do we say as lawyers all the time? Shut up. Don't say anything. Could you just prove the case that you did it not for security reasons, even though that seems extraordinary, but you literally did this for the purposes of live streaming people's private data? Bad, no bueno for him. And
maybe it's icky because there were some people in the back seat, they're smooching, maybe they said where they live. There were children involved here. What about the minors? Are there any extra protections from them?
Listen, minors cannot consent as a matter of law. So that's the first thing. Although none of these people consented, I don't really see that as a critical difference in the criminal law, but it certainly raises the level of damages in a civil case. So again, remember, it's a good civil case. The question is, what's it worth ultimately? What would a jury award when they sue Mr. Gargak and the companies for a violation of the reasonable expectation of privacy? Juries will not like the idea minors who could not consent were put in this position and that their private data as a former prosecutor, I would be really agitated about this because we try very hard to explain to people, don't put your private data where you live, what time you're getting home, when you're leaving, you know, on the internet or on social media platforms. And this guy is doing it without their consent. Bad stuff.
Can you imagine you're sitting, you got your child next to you, take me to XYZ address. And there it is, right on the internet for everyone to see. Bob, thank you so much for being with us. Some great perspective. We appreciate it.